moving! Don't get slow!
April 1942, the skies over Malta. Sunlight pierces through scattered clouds over the Mediterranean. Beneath them, the rocky, sun-bleached island of Malta shudders under bombardment. A siren howls. Civilians run for cover. And high above them, a battle rages. Malta, the unsinkable aircraft carrier of the Mediterranean. For the Axis, it had to fall. For the Allies, it had to hold. And in the skies above it, men fought duels that turned the tide of an empire. A formation of Messerschmitt Bf-19s darts through the clouds. Below on Takali Airfield, RAF pilots sprint to their waiting Spitfires.
Scramble. Bandits inbound from the northeast. Let's give them hell.
The Spitfires roar into the sky. Within minutes, they clash. Tracer fire zips past canopies. A 109 flips into a dive. Beurling locks on, fires, and shreds its tail.
One down.
It was a duel of men and machines. In the furnace of the air war over Malta, survival wasn't measured in missions, but in minutes. The Royal Air Force is outnumbered, exhausted, and barely clinging to the island's crumbling airfields. Pilots sleep in their cockpits. Mechanics work by moonlight. April 20th, another wave of German bombers, Ju-80s, escorted by Bf-109s appears on radar. Beurling straps in, eyes bloodshot.
Here we go again.
They intercept above the Grand Harbor. Bombs fall like rain. Flak fills the sky with smoke and shrapnel. Beurling dives into the escort screen. A Spitfire to his left explodes. No shoot. He presses on.
Break high! I'll take the leader!
He fires, hits. The German wingman tries to roll away. Beurling follows unrelenting. A burst of 20 millimeters sends the 109 into the sea. In Malta's skies were the most dangerous in the world. And for the Royal Air Force, there was no retreat, no rest, only resilience. That night, Beurling walks past burning wrecks. His Spitfire smokes but stands. Ground crews cheer, weak but defiant. George Beurling's name spreads fast, the Canadian ace becoming legend. But legends bleed. May 10th, a sortie over Gozo. Beurling leads a two-man patrol when they're ambushed by 4 Bf-109's aircraft.
Keep moving! Don't get slow!
They twist through the clouds. His wingman takes a burst and spirals down. Beurling screams.
Charlie! Bail out!
No parachute. Beurling's eyes narrow. He loops behind one of the 109s and empties his cannons. The enemy bursts into flame. But Beurling is hit too, shrapnel in his thigh. His Spitfire limps home, smoke trailing. He returned with a punctured plane, a wounded leg, and one less friend. But the kill count rose. The Axis feared one name above the rest. Screwball Beurling. The Falcon of Malta. On the ground, medics lift him from the cockpit. He refuses a stretcher.
Still got one good leg. I'll be back up tomorrow.
He wasn't lying. Malta is dying. Food is scarce. Ammunition is rationed. And Axis bombers return daily, hammering the ports. It wasn't just a duel in the sky. It was a siege of spirits, and Malta's people and her pilots were running on fumes. Beurling flies 2 sorties a day, every day. On June 7th, he scrambled against Italian Macchi fighters escorting SM-79 bombers. The Italians are fierce, proud flyers. One Capitano Visconti spots Beurling and peels into a dive.
Let's see if the Falcon bleeds.
They spiral in a deadly corkscrew. Hits. Visconti's wing shears away. He ejects, But a second Macchi peppers Beurling's wing. The engine sputters. He crash lands on the rocky beach, barely conscious. He would live. Malta would survive. But every kill came with a cost. Fishermen pull Beurling from the wreckage. One presses a crucifix to his hand.
For Malta, for life.
August 1942. Reinforcements arrive. Spitfire VCS, fresh pilots fuel. The siege weakens. The hunters become hunted. The Royal Air Force had endured the crucible. Now they struck back. Beurling leads a full squadron toward a formation of Ju-88s near dawn. Below, Axis convoys try to slip through the Mediterranean. British radar tracks them all. It's an ambush. Spitfires dive in. Cannon fire rakes bombers. One splits in half midair. Bf-109s try to intercept, but the Spitfires are ready.
Hit hard, hit fast, no mercy.
A dogfight erupts over the sea. One by one, the Axis fighters fall or flee. Malta's skies, for the first time in months, feel clear. In the ashes of so much loss, Malta rose, not as a fortress, but as a flame that would not die. Beurling lands. He's greeted not with cheers, but silent nods. The war isn't over, but they've turned the tide. October 1942. Beurling is weary, limping from old wounds, but still flying. The final offensive begins. Axis supply lines to North Africa are collapsing. One last mission, escorting Beauforts over Sicily. High over the sea, a final encounter. Bf-109's desperate intercept. Beurling sees one break toward the bombers.
Not today.
He climbs, dives, and shoots. Direct hit. But cannon shells rake his fuselage. The cockpit explodes in sparks. He's wounded again, bleeding, barely conscious. But he coaxes the Spitfire home. His last sortie over Malta. 31 confirmed kills, dozens of friends lost, and a legend sealed in flame. He collapses after landing. Medics rush in. He's sent back to England for good. As he boards the hospital ship, he looks once more to the sky.
I left it all up there.
Malta would not fall. The air duels became history's turning point in the Mediterranean. Rommel's supply lines crumbled. North Africa was next. Outnumbered, starved, and bombed into dust, the Royal Air Force and the people of Malta held firm. Their sky became their sword. Beurling, years later, gives a rare interview.
We weren't heroes. We were tired, angry men trying to live, but up there it was just you, the enemy, and fate.
A restored Spitfire circles the island today, engine humming like a heartbeat from the past. In the duel over Malta, valor didn't just fly, it soared. And every streak of fire across the sky told the story of a tiny island that defied the weight of an empire. Malta was more than stone and airstrips. It was a fulcrum on which the fate of the Mediterranean balanced. For months, the island was pounded into dust, its skies torn by fire, yet it did not break. From burned runways and shattered hangars, a handful of Spitfires rose again and again. And in their cockpits sat men like George Screwball Beurling, driven, wounded, relentless. Every duel in the sky bought another day of resistance. Every bomber turned back meant convoys starved of fuel, Rommel's tanks stranded in the desert and the tide of war shifting. Malta was not just defended, it endured, and that endurance reshaped the war in North Africa and beyond. On Malta, the war wrote its fiercest verses in smoke and contrails. An island no larger than a speck on the map became a fortress the Axis could never sink. The Spitfires roar, the sirens cry, the thunder of bombs, all have fallen silent. But memory endures. The Falcon of Malta and the people who stood beneath his wings left behind more than wreckage. They left defiance. They left hope. And in every echo of propellers across the Mediterranean wind, Malta still whispers, we stood, we fought, we endured,